Absolutely. So yeah, that is my mission, keeping the IRS out of the pocketbooks, wallets, and bank accounts of taxpayers. Like that's just it. I feel that I solve tax problems. That's just the long and short of it. So that mission is just the longer version of saying I love solving tax problems. And I feel that people have tax problems two different ways, right? And especially us as real estate investors and business owners. You have a tax problem, yes, if you're getting those nasty grams from the IRS, if you haven't filed your taxes in years, if you can't afford to pay what the IRS, that tax bill that the IRS sends you, right? So that is a tax problem. But then another thing I feel that's a tax problem that people don't often realize is even if you can afford to pay what the IRS is saying that you can pay year after year, you're not trying to minimize your tax bill before you send that check to the IRS, then that's a tax problem as well. You're overpaying. So that's just my philosophy.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm Kristen, and I'm here with Deltrease Hart-Anderson, who is a real estate investor and also the owner of D Hart Accounting. Their mission is to keep the IRS out of your pocketbooks, wallets, and bank accounts so you can focus on building wealth. So we're going to get into a lot of tax tips. We're going to get into a lot of real estate investing as well. Thank you for being here, Deltrease.
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you for having me.
So let's start with D Hart Accounting. Give us your background and kind of how you went into building this.
Okay, so I started off in corporate America. I have an accounting degree, both bachelor's and master's. So I started off like any good accountant would, started off in Fortune 500 companies doing accounting and finance. So any accounting and finance department, I was in it. Um, all the while I was working, that was my full-time job, but I loved taxes, right? So I didn't have the opportunity to go into taxes. At one point in time, I wanted to work for the IRS. Like I literally wanted to work for them when I was in college. So I volunteered with them and I just fell in love with taxes. But my corporate experience obviously paid my bills. So I ended up going to, and I won't call any names, but the largest retail tax company, and I worked for them for about 10 years. So I started just doing tax prep and then I ended up teaching for them. I just loved it. And then at one point, there was this man that came into our office and he said, I would love to be in business with you. He said, I've seen you in here over the years and I want you to hang your shingle. I'm gonna back you. You could put your name on the door and I just want us to be partners. And I thought about it, and I was like, wow, he must see something in me I didn't really see in myself. But I did know that I enjoyed doing taxes and I enjoyed, my time at this place. And I decided not to partner with him, but I decided to hang my own shingle. So that's how I got started.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Oh, that's really exciting. What did you love so much about taxes?
Taxes are more so accounting is pretty much a science, if you will, and taxes are really um more of a science than a lot of other facets of accounting, if you will. Like audit is really not scientific. Audits are objective, but taxation is truly that scientific part of accounting. So I like the science of it.
Cool. Oh, that's awesome. So you started D Hard Accounting. I up top I said the mission. How do you guys kind of go about that? Just talk about more about the culture of it.
Absolutely. So, yeah, that is my mission, keeping the IRS out of the pocketbooks, wallets, and bank accounts of taxpayers. Like, that's just it. I feel that I solve tax problems. That's just the long and short of it. So, that mission is just the longer version of saying, I love solving tax problems. And I feel that people have tax problems two different ways, right? And especially us as real estate investors and business owners. You have a tax problem, yes, if you're getting those nasty grams from the IRS, if you haven't filed your taxes in years, if you can't afford to pay what the IRS, that tax bill that the IRS sends you, right? So that is a tax problem. But then another thing I feel that's a tax problem that people don't often realize is even if you can afford to pay what the IRS is saying that you can pay year after year, you're not trying to minimize your tax bill
Mm,
before you send that check to the IRS, then that's a tax problem as well. You're
yeah.
overpaying.
Hmm.
So that's just my philosophy. And how we go about it is it depends on which seesaw and you come in on how we handle the tax issue. So I, as an IRS enrolled agent, I represent taxpayers before the Internal Revenue Service and anyone with any of the 50 states, right? So I do that by actually calling the IRS, getting on the phone with the IRS. Hey, IRS, I'm working with Mr. or Mrs. Taxpayer, and I need for you to stop all collection activity while we figure out what's going on. And then I go in to see what the IRS has on the taxpayer and I go to see what is my client side of the story versus the IRS side of the story, marry those two pieces together, and then come up with a solution. Not a solution that the IRS may find favorable for them all the time, but the solution that's fair. And sometimes it is the IRS may be right, but a lot of times the IRS isn't right. So I solve those pieces. I make sure that whatever is being said on the IRS's side, I make sure they're right. And if not, then it's my job to prove to the IRS that the taxpayer is right. So that's how
Wow.
I
Yeah.
do that piece. Now, the other piece, as far as helping taxpayers not pay too much to the IRS, it's just me and the taxpayer, and we're reviewing past year tax returns. We're reviewing their current, I like to call it tax life. And then we're combing through to see what deductions, what tax strategies we can implement, whether it's for this year only, whether it's for years to come. But we're going through and looking at our clients' tax lives to see where we can implement those tax strategies to cut the tax bills.
Amazing. And you have a really impressive investing portfolio as well. So you can kind of look at this holistically and you know.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
What to look for.
Absolutely, and thank you for that. It doesn't always feel impressive to me. It's still a work in progress. We're still trying to build that portfolio, but thanks just the same. Um, I have to just as I'm going very hard for my clients, because I am real estate investing, I have to do the same for me. So I have to strategize for both me, my husband. I have a business partner, so I have to look at not just what I'd like to do strategy wise. Sometimes I can't do anything because I have a business partner. So we both have to make the decisions. But what I'm doing, and I tell my clients all the time, how I'm working hard for you guys, have to work hard for me too, because I'm doing the research to minimize my tax bill as well.
Mhm. Definitely, and it is an impressive portfolio.
Thank you.
That's amazing. Is there when you work with real estate investors, are there things that you see over and over, like maybe mistakes people make or misconceptions that pertain specifically to that, industry?
Absolutely. So I call it my top 5. So the first thing, and I hope I'm gonna write them down every time I say them, so that I don't repeat something. But the first thing I see, especially with us real estate investors, and I say us because even though I am D Hart Accounting, you would think I always get it right, and I don't. I haven't all the time, but I've fixed that issue. The first mistake that I see us as real estate investors making is not having good records, not having good books and records. I hate doing bookkeeping. So guess what? I myself, D Hart Accounting, actually had to go out and hire a bookkeeper.
Right.
So that's not keeping good records, not having the books in order. That is mistake number one. Mistake number 2 that I see, I would say waiting until tax time. Until tax time to try to scramble to get those books and records done. Another thing that I see, people will wait and say, "Well, what can I do to reduce my tax bill?" Well, sometimes if you wait until April 15th or March 15th, it's a bit too late. There should have been some strategies implemented prior to. I tell people now, especially if someone were to come to me in April and say, "Well, what can I do?" That's a conversation that we probably should have had at least the last quarter of 2025 if someone is coming to me in 2026. So, I would say waiting until tax time to actually figure out what could they do, how to save on the taxes.
Makes a lot of
Um,
sense.
Another mistake I see is incorrect reporting. And when I say that, a lot of times, so especially if you have real estate investors that are doing rehabs, if they have just um, in my case, if you've just purchased some land and you're about to start building, so there are a lot of carrying costs when you are rehabbing, when you are building new construction. And I see lots of times people forget about those expenses and they're not putting them on their tax returns. That's costing them thousands of dollars, not putting those carrying costs on the tax return. There's a way to put those carrying costs on there. And a lot of times, especially with those that get hard money, those that have the construction loans that convert into permanent loans, it's a lot of money that you may be missing out on because you're not remembering that you had those costs, because sometimes those costs are not paid for through your LLC.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
So it's out of sight, out of mind, and they never made your book. So that's another thing that I see, um, the carrying costs, and I'm just writing this so I don't repeat myself. Number 4, we're on number 4. This is what I hate, hate, hate. People taking the advice straight from social media.
Right.
And it's like a social media soundbite. So it's like, hire your kids, take the bonus depreciation, take 100% depreciation. And they're listening to influencers or nameless, faceless brands or celebrities instead of actually going to professionals like IRS enrolled agents, like CPAs, like attorneys. Just have someone, or even a tax professional. They don't necessarily have to have a license, as I do, to at least provide a good tax return, right? So if they have a credential, just a P10, which is a professional taxpayer tax professional ID number, then go to someone with at least a P10 so that they can help you sort out what you're hearing in social media and what applies to you. I had this client that was in tax trouble, and he said, well, I did he said he did a certain strategy, which is a 1031 exchange. You're probably familiar with it. I did the 1031 exchange, and I'm like, "Let me see the paperwork. Who was your 1031 exchange company? When did you identify the property? When did you sell the property?" He said, "Oh, I didn't use a company. I just followed. I knew the time that I sold it, and then I bought another property." And I'm like, "That's not how it goes." And he said, "Well, on YouTube, that's how they said it. That's exactly how they did it. And those were the steps I took." I'm like, it's a sound bite. So just taking that advice off of social media, it's just a little bit of advice. Sometimes social media will tell you, yes, take 100% depreciation, and sometimes you can, but maybe you shouldn't. It all depends. So that's what I'm saying. Taking advice from social media, you need the whole picture, because sometimes these tax strategies, you may be able to implement them if you do it right. And sometimes they may not be beneficial to you within a particular tax year. So back to looking at your tax life to see if those strategies even apply to you, or if they're beneficial for you to take. And then lastly, let's see.
And also going
Mm,
off of that, I hear a lot of people, they'll follow advice that they hear from their friends, which you don't know really where the friend got the information either. And a lot of times they either get, off of TikTok or maybe from an accountant that doesn't really know what they're talking about. Like, I hear that a lot where it's like, well, my friend did this.
Absolutely. Friends, the barbershop, so your cosmetologist, your barber, your neighbor, absolutely friends. And I tell people taxes are like snowflakes. So you and I could live right beside each other, Kristen. I could have 1.1 and a half kids. You can have 1.5 kids. Our husbands could drive purple cars. We live in purple houses. They could work the same places. We could do the same type of real estate, and there's going to be something different about our tax lives. I don't care what it is. There's going to be something different about our tax lives, and people don't get it. So what applies to the friend, the neighbor, the barber, whomever may not apply to the other person. So absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so taking that advice. And then lastly, number 5, I would say ignoring IRS letters. That is huge. So you ignore the letter, and I have people come, like I talk to taxpayers all across the country on a daily basis, Monday through Friday. That's what I do. And a lot of times I had a person to reach out to me earlier this morning, and they said, "Oh, I have this letter." I asked them what the letter number was, and they told me. I said, "Okay." I said, "Did you receive the other letters, like, prior to?" And they said, "Yes, I did. I just didn't understand the letters at the time." So, because they ignored the previous letters, which was about 3 letters before this one, 3 or 4, now they're up against levies, they're up against liens, wage garnishments, more penalties because so much time has passed. So ignoring those letters is another biggie, if you will.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, that was an amazing list. I feel like that's a very practical list to go off of that people probably learn a lot from.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you so much. You've given such good advice for people that they can actually follow. To
Thank
lightly touch just kind of on your real estate portfolio, tell us kind of how you got into real estate and how long you've been doing it.
Oh, wow. So I think I started, um, bef well, I my owner occupied my very first house I bought was my owner occupied house in 2000. So maybe in 2002, 2003 was when I got my first 2 properties. They were, I got them, well, you know what? I can't remember the year now, but those first 2 properties I got, I lost those properties because I had one of those loans that, ballooned at, and I can't remember the name of the loans, but, the ARMs, the adjustable rate mortgages, and those loans became due, and I lost both of those properties. So I vowed to myself I would never get back into real estate. And which wasn't true. So, I ended up going to an auction. Me, it was me, my father, and my grandfather, both of them have since passed, and my father was taking my grandfather to a doctor's appointment, and he just so happened to call. He said, "Well, where are you?" And I was like, "I'm at the courthouse, I'm at an auction." Because I just wanted to kinda see, even though I was mad, and vowed not to bother with real estate anymore. I was just gonna work on focusing on my house, paying it off, and that was it. But I still felt that I wanted real estate because I would always read and research and hear about, "Oh, real estate is a great investment." So I wanted to do real estate, so I was like, "Let me just try it again," and I went to the auction. My dad and my grandfather came with me, and I won this property, so now here I am, I'm calling my husband. I can't remember whether he was my boyfriend at the time, but however, I called him like, "Hey, I just won this property, and now we need to find some money
Yeah.
to fix it up." So, that was a very good, we still have that property to this very day. So that kinda allowed me to ease back into real estate. My business partner and I, we purchased a commercial property. We owned, a daycare center together, and we bought the operations, then we bought the building itself. So that was a great, have since sold both operations and building, but that building really was great for us and allowed us to purchase more real estate free and clear. So yeah, yeah, it just started, like, it started bad, but it ended up good.
That's amazing. Yeah. Well, I mean, you've definitely gone through the ebbs and flows of it. So you understand from that side kind of what's necessary in your taxes from building to scaling. Well, this is
Yes.
awesome. Tell everyone where to find you and how to find D Hard Accounting.
Okay, so I would tell everyone to go to dhartaccounting.com, but to be perfectly honest, that website is a hot mess. It needs revamping. So, if anyone wants to reach out to me, they can go to www.callthetaxpro.com, callthetaxpro.com. And then if they have any tax issues where they need to stop IRS letters, they could go to stopirsletters.com. So some people don't have letters, so just reach out to Call the Tax Pro.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Deltrease. I think that you gave such great information for people.
Thank you so much, Krista. My pleasure. This was so fun.
Thank you everyone for listening. Hope you got a lot of good information for your business. You can kind of look at your books, make sure they're they're up to Deltrease's standards. And please reach out to her if you have any questions. But otherwise, we will see you back next time. Thanks so much. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.